trying to turn it into a house.
This angle?
Yeah, just be careful. It's a nightmare in there.
Sucks. Bubby.
There's definitely a trail going straight through here.
I mean, if I had something...
Did not like that.
The wilderness is a place of peace, but sometimes the silence hides a much darker reality. From an ATV rider nearly decapitated by a hidden wire trap, to a solo traveler waking up to intruders trying to hijack his entire home on wheels, the line between adventure and survival is thinner than you think. If you found yourself caught in these chilling encounters, would you have the instincts to make it out alive? On September 4th, 2025, the action-adventure twins, a channel run by two identical brothers known for exploring caves, tunnels, and abandoned underground spaces, set out on another unusual mission. This time, their destination was a quiet suburban neighborhood. Hidden beneath the homes of unsuspecting residents, they uncovered an entire house built inside a cave. The deeper they went, the clearer it became. Someone had tried to build a life into the rock itself, only to disappear, leaving the project frozen in time.
Check it out, me and Amanda are out here in the middle of the woods, and there's this crazy cave that's been turned into a house, or some guy's been trying to turn it into a house. Look at that retro fridge.
Yeah, what's in it?
Good question. Somebody's put a brick in front of it.
Probably something good in there.
I see why they put the brick in front of it. It's an actual fireplace in a cave. This is like the kitchen area, it looks like. You got all sorts of electrical runs, Smurf tube.
Look at the masonry back there.
This is well done.
He was doing a good job.
Yeah. This is like the little plumbing access over here.
Yeah.
There's a dungeon down there.
What?
We're gonna have to go down there.
I would want to duck down.
What?
To get to my rooms, though, you know?
Well, what is this a room?
It's a bathroom. Look, there's a shower.
The shower would be right here. There's a drain.
Like either a shower or a toilet.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's definitely a drain here. Oh, yeah, this does look more like a shower. He got it about 80% of the way there.
Look at all the bricks. It's really nice. Like, who knew it?
Yeah.
Or what is that? Cement?
I think it's just concrete, isn't it? He has a lot of electrical boxes. He was about to put a lot of lighting in here.
The exploration began immediately. Within moments, the twins found themselves inside a cold chamber lined with brick walls and remnants of electrical wiring, clear signs of human effort shaping the underground space. A vintage refrigerator stood near a stone fireplace, both oddly preserved, as if the builders had planned to return. Farther inside, they discovered what appeared to be a partially completed bathroom, complete with pipes and drains carved directly into the cave floor.
This step right here is really small. You just have to be careful and watch your step.
Oh, this is crazy. It gets even bigger down here. It's pretty cool.
How would you keep the moisture out of here? That's the question.
I think that's why he abandoned it.
This is, like a
This is
bedroom.
crazy. This has to be the bedroom. This is where I would put the bed. It looks like you could literally just walk in a natural cave over here.
It does.
That's insane. And there's some crazy white formations.
Look at this. It's a cow bone. Or a human
Oh,
bone. This is so pretty.
I know.
I wonder what that was going to be.
I hear water.
Me too.
He has like a river running under his house.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a hole over there.
We're going through that hole, aren't we?
Yes, because that's where the water's coming from.
As they moved deeper, the air grew heavier. A damp smell filled the space as the faint sound of running water echoed through the tunnels. One of them noted that there might be a river beneath them, his voice fading into the darkness. The walls began to glisten. Water dripped from above, marking the passage of time since anyone had last been there.
I don't know if this is actually possible. Oh, there's a pool of water down there. Head first might not have been the best way, but it worked.
A lot of mud.
Lots of mud. I see why he tried to seal this area off. It kind of goes in every direction. Now, do we get into the water or? Oh my god. Oh, we hit the river again.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good sign.
Wow, yeah, I don't think we'd fit in there.
You think?
We better keep going in the mud.
Oh, wow. Are you sure?
Yeah, there's formations hanging down. Those will scrape your back right.
Goodness, you're almost there.
I think I'm gonna get stuck.
Just hold your breath.
My head's going underwater.
Your feet close, right?
Uh-oh.
Under your feet?
They're stabbing my back. Don't go in there.
Nothing.
You can't get through. It was a nightmare in there.
I see what you mean, though. From this angle?
Yeah, just be careful. It's a nightmare in there.
Oh, goodness. This is a lot. This thing is like a knife.
Yeah, I know. You already look like you're stuck.
Bad. Okay, go back.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, are we crawling from here?
Wait, are we?
I don't know.
Are we crawling down the river now?
So,
I think this is the end of the line.
we did bring a bunch of spare lights, right? It opens up.
That's always good news. The water's the way.
Oh, look. Did we fit through that whole direction?
Oh, yeah, well, there's bricks. Yeah, let's go that way. And now we're back.
They squeezed through a narrow passage that tightened with every inch forward. The light dimmed to a faint glow around their helmets. The air became colder and thicker, each breath louder than the last. One wrong move, and the rock around them felt ready to close in. When they finally reached a small open chamber, the sound of rushing water filled the space like a steady pulse deep underground. Viewers later speculated about who had once lived or planned to live there. Some believed it was the work of an ambitious builder from decades ago, while others imagined a hidden shelter, possibly an unfinished escape. Many admitted the tight spaces alone were enough to trigger fear just watching. When the team eventually resurfaced, covered in mud and catching their breath, they realized the cave sat directly beneath someone's backyard. Above-ground life continued as normal, quiet, and unaware. And it leaves one question. How many hidden homes are still buried beneath the ground we walk on every day? February 2024, near Eagle River, Alaska. Maria, the creator of Roaming Reckless, drove her old Land Rover deep into the snow with her dog, Blue. Her channel usually documents quiet overland trips across America, camping, cooking, and surviving the cold. This time, she planned a simple 3-day stay at the Rapids Camp Yurt along the historic Iditarod Trail. But Alaska had other plans. What began as a calm winter retreat would soon turn into 3 days of smoke, fear, and silence.
We're going to a yurt that we have to hike to, 2 miles in the middle of the woods. This is going to be dry camping, so we've got to take all of our supplies with us. There's going to be nothing there for us but firewood. Oh, this thing's so heavy, oh my gosh. We're starting up here. Our yurt is down here. We're 15 minutes into our walk. My back is already killing me, so gotta love scoliosis. Oh my god, this is insane. I actually feel like I'm in Narnia. Like, come on. Rapids Camp Yurt, heck yeah. Here you go, bub. just in time before dark. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ah. Someone remind me to get a hiking backpack, a proper one. Thanks. This wood is kind of wet, which is not good. Now we're cooking. I've been working on the fire for like 2 hours at this point, and I am running out of fire starters. I really don't know what else to do. It's like all of the wood is wet and nothing will. I've been trying to restart the fire every time, like tinier and tinier. It only burns with a fire starter, and then as soon as it wears out, and there's so much smoke in here, it's like not even funny. So it's just like now my pickle is that it's pitch dark. While I could go back to Poe, it's pretty early in the night still. Do I really want to walk 45 minutes straight in the pitch dark through the Alaskan wilderness? No, I don't. But I can't stay here if there's no fire. What do I do? This sucks. I give the fire one last ditch effort using the one log left I have that I think is semi-not wet. So we'll see what happens. See how smoky it is in here? I feel like Blue and I are gonna have to make the trek back to Poe because I just can't risk the fire not working and then Blue getting cold in the middle of the night. I think Blue and I are just gonna have to go back to Poe.
Maria packed everything she believed she would need: food gear and layers for the cold. Blue moved ahead as they followed a narrow snow-packed trail winding through the white forest. The walk was only 2 miles, but by the first mile her back was already aching under the weight of her supplies. She described the landscape as Narnia, a quiet world of ice and mountains that made the effort feel worthwhile. When the yurt finally came into view through the fading light, it looked ideal, a small round shelter standing alone beneath the peaks. Inside, there was a wood stove, a bunk bed, and what seemed like enough warmth to get through the night. But as the hours passed, the wood wouldn't burn properly. Smoke filled the space thick and gray until her eyes stung and her breathing became difficult. With temperatures dropping and Blue beginning to shiver, she had no choice but to leave everything behind and walk back through the darkness.
This sucks. I've never been so happy to see this truck in my life. Oh my gosh, it smells like smoke. Let's pack up and clean this place out. Frozen solid. Good thing we didn't stay last night. There's a sign in here talking about an aggressive bear in the area, and granted, bears are hibernating right now, but they do come out of hibernation every once in a while, and we're in aggressive bear territory, so. This says, in recent weeks, a black bear with bad behavior attempted to gain access to all 3 yurts. They had to cancel reservations for weeks, so. Wish us luck.
She carried only a flashlight, a knife, and her fear. The forest was silent, the kind of silence that makes you question whether you are truly alone. By the time she reached her truck, the relief felt immediate, the heater running blue curling up beside her on the seat. The next morning, she returned to the yurt. Inside, a notice on the wall warned campers about a black bear that had recently moved through the area. Later, her heater failed. Her backup power stopped working, and she ended the trip sore, exhausted, and grateful it hadn't turned worse. Locals later reminded her how dangerous Eagle River can be. Stories of hikers going missing, of animals waking too early in winter hungry and disoriented. One viewer commented that the uneasy feeling she had while walking back wasn't fear, but instinct. Maybe they were right. Maybe the smoke that forced her out of the yurt wasn't just bad wood, but Alaska's quiet way of telling her to leave. This video comes from the YouTube channel Lisa's Escapades, uploaded on September 8th, 2024. Lisa lives an off-grid lifestyle, traveling solo and spending extended time in the outdoors. But being alone in remote nature always means your vulnerability is higher. She set out on a trail she had been planning to hike for some time. Early into the trek, she reached an area known for a reported Bigfoot sighting, and almost immediately the atmosphere seemed to change.
So I just got here, and out this way, right behind one of those trees, I saw something really tall and dark. And I got my binoculars out to look at it closer, and it's gone. So that's kind of weird. It's all flooded out there too. So there was a sighting over here earlier this year or late last year. I can't remember the date. So that's interesting. So I keep hearing drum beats off this way. Now there is a road out here, but the drum beats I keep hearing have been for about, so I don't think it's a car going by. And there's no places to park around here, so that's kind of odd. I'm smelling something really nasty. It could be the standing water, but I don't know, it smells like trash.
The forest went quiet. Unfamiliar sounds echoed faintly in the distance, along with a foul odor she couldn't clearly identify. The deeper she walked, the heavier the surroundings felt. Low growls surfaced at times, followed by stretches of silence that didn't seem natural.
I hear dogs barking at something, and it sounded like there was a big thump, and then they started barking, like a growl too. Where are these dogs coming from? Man, they were upset over something. It looks like straight through here, it looked like something big walked right through that grass, because it's all mashed down. See, it looks like a path going straight through here.
Step by step, she continued forward. Yet the feeling of being watched grew stronger. With strange sounds circling her, she became convinced that someone or something was following her through the woods.
There's definitely a trail going straight through here. And if you keep going that way, you'll run into the Florida Trail. I believe there's a campsite over there too. Like a remote campsite where you can camp on the Florida Trail. I keep hearing something clanking together.
She pushed on, determined to complete the trail, but that presence never seemed to fade. Even after she made it out, she remained certain she had not been alone. Maybe it was wildlife reacting to her movement, or maybe isolation heightened every sound. If you felt that steady sense of being followed on a lonely trail, would you turn back or keep walking and hope it was nothing? This video comes from the YouTube channel Rachel and Tommy, uploaded on August 18th, 2022. Rachel and Tommy are known for their van life travels, often choosing quiet woodland areas to camp with their dog. This trip began no differently, arriving at sunset, setting up camp, lighting a fire, and settling into the stillness of the evening. But that calm didn't last.
Oh, so where we are is actually kind of close to the road.
Yeah.
Might be able to see it. It was just getting dark, so we had to find a place. I have a feeling that it's not going to stay busy, because as soon as the cars go by, you can hear.
Nothing. I've been hearing some strange noises, but it's probably just the traffic and...
Yeah, but I don't think there's any traffic back out in there. I don't think.
I thought I heard an owl a while ago.
Yeah. This road is busier than I thought it was going to be. Thank you. Go away.
Unusual sounds began echoing through the trees. Even though they were parked near a main road, something about it felt off. They tried to brush it off, focusing instead on the warmth of the fire and the comfort of routine. Later, people nearby needed help with a flat tire.
So we're sitting there fixing to go lay down, and we heard somebody had a flat down here, so I'm gonna walk down here and see if they need help. Anything I can do to help them, because this is the absolute middle of nowhere. So we go back to the van and get our 4-way lug wrench out of it, because they don't have one. Good thing I came down here. It's just the kind thing to do. You know, would I want that to be us stuck somewhere and somebody could at least offer to help, and they didn't? I'm gonna run down and see if I'm pretty sure I have a 4-way here in the van. There's a van back up over here.
Tommy stepped in to assist alongside others. Still camping near traffic in the woods at night always comes with vulnerability. Anyone can approach. Anyone can watch. Even during simple acts of kindness, the quiet risk never fully fades. Maybe the noises were nothing more than passing cars and moving branches, or maybe the setting made every sound feel amplified. If you were camped in the dark and strangers stopped nearby, would you step in to help right away, or pause and protect your space first? The next unsettling video comes from Stealth Camp Sweethearts, a US-based couple who share outdoor adventures focused on stealth camping remote locations and immersive experiences in nature. It is February 10th, 2026 at Peaceful Hills Retreat in Tennessee, United States. Michael and Ashley finish setting up their secluded campsite. As they relax near the fire, they notice a bright light in the sky. It remains still for a brief moment, then suddenly disappears, without moving across the sky like a plane or helicopter would.
Can you imagine how much wood we would have to find? Because you gotta think, that was a little bit of wood. I mean, if I had something...
Did not like that. What? What is that?
Huh?
Shit's getting crazy. We heard a gunshot and now whatever animal that is going nuts.
Coyotes? With a bunch of guys yelling.
No, it was an animal. I think it was coyote.
Well, it was crazy though.
Yeah, it was. I don't hear no more.
I can hear 4.
Later, while trying to restart the campfire, they hear unusual high-pitched sounds coming from the forest.
Do y'all hear that?
The noises do not resemble normal conversation and seem to carry through the trees.
Did you hear that? There was a noise out there.
Well, you bring Bigfoot over here. Do y'all believe in Bigfoot?
I do.
I mean, I believe in Bigfoot. But you bring his ass over here, what the hell am I gonna do?
It's been a good birthday though. Once this fire goes out, we'll play. Be going to bed. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Once this fire goes out, we'll play. Be going to bed. What do you think?
Sounds good.
More strange sounds emerge from deeper within the woods. They mention Bigfoot jokingly, but both stay alert, watching the tree line and listening closely in case something is nearby.
That was the first noise I heard because I got up to go pee. This is like 1 o'clock in the morning. Then when I get back in the tent, I hear, ah! And I was thinking if that would have happened while I was out here peeing in the dark, I would have died. But it wasn't long, maybe 10 minutes after that, I heard like roaming around the campground area over here.
I didn't hear nothing. I slept good. I was warm.
Yeah, he was snoring. I got hot actually while we were sleeping, kicked my socks off.
Our mattress lost a little air.
Yeah.
Hopefully it don't have a hole in it.
During the night, one of them hears movement around the campsite after returning to the tent. By morning, they talk about the cold night and minor issues with their bedding. The birthday camping trip turns into a night marked by subtle but uneasy moments. If you were camping in the dark and heard those sounds, would you stay relaxed or start questioning what was really out there? In February 2018, a YouTuber named Greg Harris uploaded what appeared to be a simple GoPro video, just another weekend ride through the woods near Naples, Florida. The footage opened like many other ATV clips online. The steady hum of the engine trees rushing past and the calm rhythm of off-road freedom. But what began as a routine ride quickly turned into a near-fatal encounter that still chills anyone who has seen it. As Greg sped along the narrow trail, everything seemed normal until in a split second something crossed the path. A metal wire pulled tight between two trees caught his helmet and yanked him backward with violent force. The impact brought him to an immediate stop. If that wire had been just a few inches lower, it could have severed his neck. Instead, the tension snapped the wire as it caught beneath his chin guard, saving his life by pure luck. Greg's foot was trapped under the shifter, but he managed to pull himself free. Later in the video description, Greg wrote, "Be careful, people. I was nearly decapitated by a metal wire tied between trees on the trails I ride. Luckily, it broke it caught under my helmet and my foot was stuck under the shifter." For anyone familiar with off-road trails, this was more than just a freak accident. Incidents like this are not unheard of. Sometimes angry landowners set up traps to deter riders from the trespassing. Other times, it's retaliation for noise or damage to property. But in the darkest cases, people do it simply out of malice for no reason at all. When Greg returned to inspect the site, there were no tracks, no tools, no clues, just a snapped strand of wire hanging between the trees. Whoever placed it there knew exactly where to position it for maximum harm. Greg's video sparked widespread discussion among outdoor riders and law enforcement. Some believed it was a targeted act, possibly intended to deter ATV riders from using the trail. Others thought it was random, a cruel prank with potentially deadly consequences. Whatever the motive, it revealed an unsettling truth: the real danger in the woods isn't always wild animals. Behind the wheel of his trusted camper van, Adam, the creator of the channel AD's Ventures, has built his life around freedom on the open road. His channel documents the highs and lows of European van life, capturing everything from breathtaking landscapes to the quiet solitude that comes with living full-time on the move. But on one cold night, parked at a motorway service station, that freedom turned into fear. What began as a peaceful night's rest quickly became a reminder that sometimes even your home on wheels isn't as secure as it feels.
So I originally rocked up to the previous services down the motorway and I started to go to bed as usual. In fact, it was a very nice, calm, relaxing evening until around about 3 a.m, maybe half 2, something like that. There I was dreaming the most beautiful dream, probably about pittobreds and dolphins and all that. And I was awoken, half awoken, I was in a bit of a daze, by some voices that were literally about 2 centimetres away from my back door. Just to clarify, I mean the rear doors on the van. So I hit the button to turn my CCTV on, and what did I see? 2 hooded, semi-balaclavaed youths right next to the van, and they walked around to the side here. Now in my head, I'm thinking, are they going to break into the Pigeon? Are they going to break into the Pigeon? By the way, for those who don't know, my van is called the Pigeon. And I got in my head to the part where I said, are they going to break into? And then I heard them try that. So in my confused, half asleep state, I just shouted, "Pigeon!" At the same time, I jumped out of bed. I pulled back this curtain, which separates off the cab, so I could see out the windows. And sure enough, right by this door, there were 2 guys trying to break into my van.
It was around 3 a.m. when Adam woke to the sound of whispering voices so close They seemed right against the walls of his van. Half asleep and disoriented, he reached for the control that activated his CCTV cameras. What he saw made his blood run cold. 2 hooded men, their faces partially covered, standing just inches from his back door. Still groggy, he wondered if they were checking nearby vehicles, but then came the sound of a door handle being pulled. Instinct took over. Adam jumped from his bed, pulled back the curtain separating his sleeping area from the cab, and shouted the first word that came to mind, his van's nickname, Pigeon. The sudden movement startled the intruders. Caught in the light from inside the van, the 2 men froze for a moment, then ran off into the night. Shaken but unharmed, Adam kept watching his CCTV feed, unable to fall back asleep.
And at this point, they obviously saw me open up the curtain and they scarpered off into the night. I do have the entire thing caught on camera, by the way, so I'll show you that shortly as well. But then after that, I tried to go back to sleep, but I just kept looking up at my CCTV to check if they're out there. And in the end, I realised I'm not going to sleep too good. So I had to get back up. I had to drive to the next services along, which is where we currently are, parked this time closer to the building and under some light. And I got about half a night's sleep. Now, all of the footage of this is on my CCTV system. I've got 4 cameras that are recording at all times. But to get it off of that CCTV system, I've got to put it onto a memory stick, then onto my laptop, then convert the files to MP4 so I can put it in the editing software, and then we will watch it together. Why is there an alarm set for now? Anyway, we'll get to all that later. Right now, I just want to get the hell out of here. I want to get to Prague. I want to park up at a nice campsite in a safe, secure location, and then, well, depending on the weather, go exploring. But I'm going to eat my porridge, drink my coffee, hit the road, and we will catch up with this situation shortly.
Eventually, he packed up and drove to another service area, parking under bright lights closer to the main building. Anything to feel safe again. Later, when he reviewed the footage in Prague, what he found was disturbing. The 2 men had not come across his van by chance. The video showed them circling the vehicle, first looking through the driver's window, then lingering at the back while pretending to talk and Smoke acting casual in case anyone passed by. Finally, one of them crouched near the passenger side, hiding his hands as he worked on the lock. That was the moment Adam had shouted, and they fled.
Okay, so this is obviously when I heard their voices. I know they're going straight up to... They're going straight up to my driver's window and they're looking in it. I swear I heard them right behind the van though. So he's staring right in the driver's window, trying to see what he can see. I think he touched something there, did he? Okay, this is the point. So now they've gone round the back of the van. Now remember, at this stage, I'm still fast asleep, right? So let's pull up the back of the van. So enter the thieves around the rear of the van. They take a quick look at the back. One of them's smoking something. Maybe he's innocent. Maybe they were just smoking. Well, I heard them, that's where I heard them talking, and I was sort of in a daze, and I was like, what is going on? They've gone back round to the other side of the van now, so let's pull that camera back up. Actually, no, it definitely wasn't innocent, because I remember I heard them actually touch the handle. Oh yeah, look, there we go. Right, he's bent down there. What's he doing? Yeah, he's trying to do something there, and that was where I shouted pigeon. Look at that! Right, let's just rewind that again. Right, so he's keeping an eye on that lorry that's leaving, and he's bent down doing something by my van. He must be trying to hide the fact that his hand's like touching the handle. But this is the point where I heard the handle go. And I'm half asleep and I shout pigeon. And I rush up and I open up this curtain here. And then you can see as soon as I do that, he says something to his mate. And they scarper off. So if we go back to the front camera, we should... Yeah, there we go. So that's them. As soon as they know that I'm in the van, they're now just disappearing off into the night. As though nothing's happened.
At first, Adam believed they were trying to steal items from the van tools or equipment. But after reviewing the footage more carefully, he realized the truth was far worse. They hadn't focused on the rear doors or storage compartments. Their attention was entirely on the driver's side, the ignition. These weren't minor thieves. They were trying to take the entire van, his home, his livelihood, his life on the road. The incident served as a clear warning to solo travelers. Even in a busy service area, you're never truly alone. What saved Adam wasn't luck, but his quick reaction and the security system that recorded every moment. The video left viewers unsettled. If this could happen to an experienced traveler like Adam, it could happen to anyone. How many times have people parked in the dark, assuming the night is safe? Was this just an opportunistic attempt or something planned, watching for hours before making a move? Either way, Adam's story is a sobering reminder when your home has wheels. Safety isn't about where you park, it's about how quickly you can respond.
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.